Welcome to the world of stories. This is HRB Verse, where every story is real, heartfelt, and unforgettable. Subscribe now and become part of a journey you'll never forget. My cousin swiped $12,000 from our grandmother's estate and pointed the finger at me. My entire family bought his lie until I unraveled the truth in court 3 years later. I never imagined someone so close would betray me over money, especially not money belonging to the one person who loved us both without condition. But grief has a way of exposing people's true colors. And my family. Their truth was far uglier than I ever expected. Before all this, we were what you'd call a close-knit crew, or at least, that's what we claimed. Christmas at Aunt Laura's, 4th of July cookouts at Uncle Tom's, summer trips to Lake Michigan. From the outside, we looked like a postcard-perfect family, straight out of a sappy TV movie. But look closer, and you'd see the fractures. You'd notice Aunt Laura constantly comparing her son, Ethan, to me. Look at Ethan's sharp style. Maybe you should try it. Or Ethan landed another scholarship. What's your plan? You'd see her ruling family gatherings like a queen with a cheap tiara and a wine glass that never ran dry. You'd catch how my mom and her younger sister forced smiles at Laura's jabs, holding the family together with tense grins and clenched hands. Then there was Grandma Evelyn, our rock, our shield. The only one who saw through the pettiness and loved us all anyway. She made Sunday dinners feel like holy ground, always making you feel seen, even when the world treated you like a ghost. She was my biggest cheerleader, especially after Dad left when I was 12. She'd show up to my school plays, help me buy thrift store suits for job interviews, slip me money when Mom was too stubborn to ask for help. She never missed a birthday or milestone. When she got sick, I took time off work to care for her. Ethan, he didn't visit her in the hospital until her 3rd week of chemo. Too busy with internships, he said. Yet guess who got the lion's share of her inheritance? Let me backtrack. Grandma passed in March 2020. It wasn't sudden, we'd been preparing since late 2019, but it still hit like a freight train. COVID was shutting everything down, so her funeral was a small graveside affair, all masks and awkward elbow taps instead of hugs. I gave the eulogy, barely holding back tears. Ethan showed up late, sporting sunglasses and a flashy watch. He tried to play it cool like we were still kids sharing a bunk bed at Grandma's lake house. But the moment she was laid to rest, something changed. The whispers started. 2 weeks later, Aunt Laura called. "You need to give the money back, Jacob." I thought she was kidding. "What money?" she sighed, her voice dripping with that patronizing tone she'd mastered. "Don't act clueless. We know you tapped into Grandma's estate account. The trustee says $12,000 is gone and the bank records point to you." I laughed. It was that ridiculous. "Are you serious?" "This is felony theft, Jacob," she snapped. "Grandma's legacy, you should be ashamed." I was floored like I'd stepped into a nightmare. "I didn't touch her money," I said, slow and deliberate. "Then explain the wire transfer." "What wire transfer?" She hung up. An hour later, my phone blew up with texts from cousins, aunts, even Mom. "How could you betray Grandma? Return the money before we press charges. Skip Thanksgiving this year." I tried calling, but no one answered. I went to Mom's place. She wouldn't even open the door. "I can't believe you'd do this to us," she said through the peephole. "Just leave." Overnight, I became the family outcast. I kept waiting for someone to ask my side to say this doesn't sound like Jacob. He was there for Grandma, but no one did. Ethan, he went silent. No calls, no texts, not even a fake check-in. And somehow no one found that odd. So I did what any wrongly accused person would do. I got the financial records from the estate lawyer, tracked every transaction, and followed the digital trail of that $12,000. What I found chilled me to the bone. The lawyer sent me a packet with the final disbursement records and wire transfer logs. I don't think he expected me to dissect it, but I did. There it was. A $12,000 transfer, sent 4 days after Grandma's death, authorized by a digital signature that wasn't mine, from an IP address that traced to an apartment complex in Evanston. Not my address, Ethan's. I stared at the screen for what felt like forever. Then I dug through old messages, finding a selfie Ethan sent the family from his new Evanston pad he was so proud of. The date, 2 days after the transfer. He'd stolen the money after moving in, using Grandma's estate login to cover his tracks. Here's the twist. Ethan had a finance degree and an internship at a wealth management firm. He knew how estate distributions worked. He thought he could make it look seamless that no one would notice. And when they did, he pinned it on me. I wanted to storm his condo, shove the evidence in his face, and knock that fake watch off his wrist. I wanted to scream at Aunt Laura, make her choke on every cruel word she'd thrown at me. But I didn't. They wanted a villain, and Ethan handed them one. They never questioned it. So fine, let them think I'm the bad guy for now. Let them stew in it. Instead of exploding, I went silent. Stopped answering texts, stopped defending myself. I moved into a cheaper apartment, worked 2 jobs, retail by day, rideshare by night. I skipped Thanksgiving and Christmas. No tense dinners, no glares, no Aunt Laura's fake concern. Every free hour, I built my case. Spreadsheets, IP logs, highlighted authorizations, screenshots of Ethan's social media flaunting his fancy condo and consulting startup. Receipts don't lie. I wasn't just clearing my name, I was going to bury him. It took 8 months to gather everything. A legal aid clinic connected me with a young lawyer, fresh off the bar exam and eager for a fight. When I showed him my evidence, he looked like I'd handed him a movie script. "Jacob, this is straight-up fraud. You can take this to court." "Can I win?" He met my eyes. "You can do more than win. You can end him." I filed a civil suit for fraudulent misrepresentation and damages, keeping it secret from everyone. Mom, my siblings, definitely Aunt Laura. The subpoena hit Ethan's condo like a grenade in June. Aunt Laura called 3 hours later, frantic. "What are you doing?" I was at work, stepping into the break room. "Filing a lawsuit. What's it look like? You're destroying this family?" "No, Ethan did that. I'm just shining a light on it." She hung up. Typical, Ethan hired a slick lawyer with a pricey suit and big talk. They tried to spin it as a mix-up, claiming Grandma might have meant to give him the money. But I had the evidence. The forged signature, IP logs, timestamps, and Ethan's Instagram post of a new TV the day after the money hit his account. It took 4 court sessions for the truth to come apart. Watching Ethan squirm on the stand. I won't lie, it felt damn good. The confident golden boy was gone, replaced by a cornered man with no lies left. The judge ruled in my favor. Ethan had to repay the $12,000 plus interest and legal fees. The court called it intentional fraud with malice, a stain on his record forever. But it didn't stop there. Word spread and the family started talking. Turns out, Ethan had borrowed money from 3 other relatives, never repaid. Aunt Laura's reputation tanked. She tried to hold a family meeting to rewrite the story nobody showed. Mom finally called, voice breaking. "I'm sorry, I should have trusted you." I didn't respond. Apologies don't rebuild burned bridges, especially ones you torched yourself. Aunt Laura, though, she never believed consequences applied to her. Even after the ruling, after Ethan's public humiliation and restitution order, after the judge declared I'd never touched Grandma's accounts, she still acted like I was the issue. "We shouldn't have dragged family matters to court," she told Mom. "Jacob should have come to us." Come to her? After she shunned me, called me a thief, turned everyone against me. Sure, but she didn't want peace, she wanted control. With Ethan's halo shattered, she needed a new scapegoat. Too bad I wasn't the same person I was 3 years ago. I'd worked double shifts, scraped by, rebuilt my self-respect from nothing. I'd spent birthdays alone, eaten ramen on Christmas Eve, watched life pass me by while they all thought I'd robbed a dying woman. You don't come back from that soft. When Mom relayed Laura's plea to move past it for family, I said one word. "No," she called that night. "Jacob, honey, I just think, don't honey me." Silence. Then Grandma would have wanted unity. That made me laugh. If Grandma were here, she'd have whacked Laura with her cane and handed me a slice of pie. She'd also want people to stop stealing her money, I said coldly. "What do you want, Laura?" Her voice broke. She said Ethan hadn't paid a cent yet, lost his job after the ruling, and his reputation in Chicago's finance world was toast. No one hires a guy with a fraud judgment. Who knew? Worse, she'd co-signed his lease, his car, his loans. She was drowning. And she wanted me to forgive the debt, call it a misunderstanding, let Ethan off to rebuild. I laughed so hard I nearly dropped the phone. "You want me, the guy you slandered and disowned, to clean up your son's mess after he ruined my life? You're not being fair," she snapped. "No, Laura, I'm being exact." She sobbed, real or fake, I didn't care. All I could think of was eating instant noodles alone in a basement apartment while they carved turkey and trashed my name. Let her cry. She hung up, saying, "You'll regret this." My only regret was not cutting them off sooner. Over the next few months, it all fell apart. Ethan defaulted on the repayment plan, his wages garnished, his lease broken. He moved back in with Laura, who drained her retirement savings to cover his debts. She sold her house. Meanwhile, I was thriving, promoted at work, with health insurance again, dating someone who believed in me. She didn't know everything yet, but she knew enough, and she trusted me. I reconnected with my younger sister, Lily, the only one who reached out post-ruling, saying, "I always felt it wasn't true." We grabbed coffee, talked for hours, laughed like old times. It wasn't perfect, but it was something. One night, I found a handwritten note on my doorstep from Ethan. No envelope, just crumpled paper with his messy scrawl. "I know you won't believe me, but I'm sorry." I panicked. I needed the money. "Mom said you'd be the easiest to blame. I didn't think it'd go this far. I'm so sorry." I read it 3 times, then burned it in the kitchen sink, watching the ashes disappear. Closure isn't always forgiveness. It's knowing the truth and moving on. I thought that was the end. Then Aunt Laura got cancer, stage 3, ovarian, aggressive. Lily told me, still checking in on her because that's who Lily is, too kind for her own good. "She's not the same," Lily said over coffee. "She talks about Grandma a lot, regrets how it all went down." I didn't answer, just stirred my coffee, watching the cream swirl. A week later, Lily texted, "Laura's asking if you'll visit." "Just once, she wants to talk." I stared at the message, then turned off my phone. 3 months later, she died. Quiet funeral, closed casket. Ethan gave the eulogy. I didn't go. Lily did, said it was awkward. Half the family didn't show, the rest like shadows. Ethan cried, but few bought it. A week later, Laura's lawyer called. She'd left me something in her will. I almost didn't go, but curiosity pulled me to a small downtown office. The lawyer, a tired man in his 60s with stained fingers, handed me a sealed envelope. She wrote it herself. We didn't open it. At home, I sat with it for an hour before tearing it open. The letter was brief, her handwriting neat. "Jacob, if you're reading this, I'm gone. I won't ask for forgiveness. I know I don't deserve it. But I saw it all, what I let happen, what I pushed. You were never the villain, just the scapegoat I needed. Admitting my son's cruelty broke me. I hope you build a life so bright no one can dim it. Grandma was proud of you. She told me once and I didn't want to believe her. She was right. I left you something of hers, something I should have given you long ago. I'm sorry, Laura." Inside was Grandma's locket, the gold one she wore every Sunday, engraved with her grandchildren's initials. Inside, a photo of me as a kid on one side and one of Grandma and me on the other. I didn't know it existed. I stared at it, feeling the weight settle in the quiet. That night, I visited Grandma's grave for the first time in years. Cold, windy March evening. I brought the locket and a yellow daffodil, her favorite. I stood there saying everything I couldn't when they cast me out. Every time I needed her voice, every night I cursed the silence, wishing someone had believed me. "I made it, Grandma," I whispered. "Not because of them. Despite them." I set the locket on her headstone for a moment, then pocketed it and walked away. That was a year ago. Now I run my own financial consulting firm, built from the ground up with friends who stood by me. We help nonprofits and small businesses, people crushed by the big players. Ethan, last I heard, he's in Florida working customer service, bankrupt, still carrying that fraud judgment, still blaming family drama. I don't care. I have peace. I don't need revenge, apologies, or admissions of guilt. I have my name, my dignity, and the truth. Family isn't blood or shared names. It's who sits with you in the ashes and says, "I'm here." To anyone betrayed by those meant to love you most, you're not alone. You'll rise even if you start from nothing. Thank you for watching my story. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and press the bell icon. Stay tuned for more real-life stories, get more experiences.